everyone, it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. I hope you're all doing well. This is part 2 to the Streamathon, which has been happening across the 30th of July to the 1st of August, which is Julia in July 2021. This was also a colouring hashtag that's been happening for the whole of July, and it's being hosted by Shelly from shellarty.x on Instagram and also Ashleigh from Ashleigh Colours. You can also go to their YouTube channels. I will link that all down below for you. So as I said, this is part 2. Part 1 was premiered earlier in the Streamathon, but it's there to watch back if you want to. I will try my best to be in the chat if I can. I think I explained in part 1, unfortunately, I'm away whilst this is happening. So I'm recording these videos in advance so that I still have some content for you, and I'm really grateful that I still have the opportunity to do that. So I have a couple more questions from my Q&A to answer in this video, as well as probably just doing a general colouring chat as well. I am colouring this picture, which I was doing last time. I believe it's called something like the Flowerhouses. I can't quite remember. I will try and link the picture where I purchased it on Etsy. And before I go any further as well, I do just want to let you know about the giveaway that is happening. So very, very kindly, Julia has allowed a giveaway to happen, and Shelly has purchased a page which I will insert here for you. Absolutely gorgeous. And I mentioned in part 1 how it would be a little bit tricky for me to do a giveaway in the live chat. So what I decided to do instead is that if you would like to enter the giveaway, simply just drop a comment down in after this video. So I don't think you can put comments in the video before it goes live. I could be wrong, but basically all you need to do in the video description is tell me that you'd like to enter the giveaway. Seeing as this will have been open now for almost 2 days, I will leave it open for a further 2 days for you, and we'll close it on the 3rd of August. I will then contact the winner on the comment to tell them that they have won. So I hope that makes sense. But hi to those of you who are joining. Hopefully I'll be live chatting with you, but I really appreciate it if you have stopped by to watch. So I'm going to be carrying on with this page. Now I'm going to do this probably in 2 parts, just so that you can see my progress of the page. So this first part, I'm probably just going to colour one of each of the colours of the flowers, just so that you don't have to sit through me colouring the same thing. I want to try and show you a variation of different things that I'm doing. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy. So I mentioned last time, this is printed on the Daler-Rowney smooth heavyweight paper. It's really smooth, and I used my markers as a base. I've decided to go in with my Faber-Castell Black Edition pencils that were very sweetly gifted to me by the lovely Sue Wilkinson, and I thought I would try these and see how they do. I saw a video that Helena from the Colouring Zone did the other day, and I wanted to use them again because I really do enjoy using them, and they've got some really unusual colours. I will show you the swatch now. And for those of you who don't know, the reason I swatched them on white and black is because they're meant to be really opaque and good for black and white, which is why they're called the Black Edition, because usually budget pencils aren't very good in terms of opacity, but these are actually very, very good. So it comes in a maximum of 36 colours, I believe. And hopefully you can see, I mean, that white is pretty good considering it is budget. So there are some really unusual colours in here. I really like this green. It reminds me of lettuce green from the Holbeins. A lovely smoky blue there. A lovely grey lavender colour there as well. And just some really nice muted tones. Oh, and also, apologies, excuse my nails. I had a manicure on Wednesday before my prom, and they've lasted a while. It's now Tuesday, so almost a week, but they are just coming off a bit. But I wanted to leave it on as long as possible because I really, really like it. So anyway, so that's the swatch. This is how they come. They don't have names or numbers, so mine are a bit out of order. That doesn't bother me, but you can add your own numbers if you want to, but yeah, it might just be a bit tricky, I guess, in that respect, because you do have to keep them in some sort of order to just be able to tell which one's which. So I am going to pick out some colours for the purple one, I think, first, and then we will get going. Okay, so I've picked out some colours, and I think probably these purples are the ones I'm going to be using the most, just because the purple that I've put down matches with these the best. But I've also got a white to burnish if I need to, and a pink for highlights. I had started this and then realised I wasn't filming. But yeah, let's get started. And because it's not a tutorial, I hope you don't mind. I'm not going to zoom in or anything, because I can't tell you what the colours are anyway, but also it's just more of a colour and chat. So yeah, let's get going. So I'm going to be answering your questions. As I mentioned, the other Q&A questions that I had. And I actually had a really interesting question from the wonderful Val, who is a frequent commenter and supporter of the channel, and she emails me, which is very lovely of her, and she had a question for me which was non-colouring related actually, which is absolutely fine, I did say. And she asked, when you go to uni, will you be living at home or in a dorm/apartment? So I think this is a great question, because for those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that I'm still a kid technically, which is why my channel is called Colouring Kid. I am 16 and a half, I'm 17 in November, and I do have plans to go to uni. So I'm going to A-level, sorry, not A-levels, I'm going to college to do my A-levels in September, which I'm very excited about and looking forward to it. And after that, I will be going to uni. So I would love to maybe study music. I'm potentially thinking about that. I'm not really sure what else I would do, and probably my dream university would be Oxford. I know Oxford really well, and we've been a number of times, and we actually went to Cambridge, me and my mum, when we went to London. We got the train from London, and although I do really like Cambridge, there's just something about Oxford that has kind of stuck with me. I really do love it. So that would be my dream university, and I believe at Oxford you stay in dorms for your first year, either on your own or in a group, I think, but that's probably the plan. I potentially could stay at home if I want to. It really depends on the COVID situation then, but it is an hour away, so, well, actually a bit more than that, so it's a possibility. I know some people do stay at home when they do uni, but I think I'll probably go for the, you know, the whole uni experience and stay there, which I'm looking forward to. So it'll definitely be a big change, but I think it will be really exciting. So yeah, that's the plan. Really good question, Val, because it did make me think, because I did have some, you know, idea of what I was going to do, but also I think, you know, you do know quite a lot about me in terms of what I'm doing now, but yeah, maybe not in the future then, in a few years time. So thank you for that question. I think I'm probably going to need to use my Zest It blend, because I can't see this blending out anymore, because it's quite toothy paper, even though it's smooth. So what I'm going to do, or even my blending pencils might work, what I'm going to do is just pause there and get it, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have just tested out how it works and I'm really liking it. Basically what I've done is, to get better precision, I have used a dry Derwent blender pen and just dipped it in my blending sponge, and I just put a few dabs of the Zest It blend onto this so that it's juicy and works, and yeah, it's working really well. So I'm going to continue with it, and start answering the questions from Instagram. So the first question is from SK8 Star Colours, and they ask, do your hands ever hurt when using pencil? And yes, definitely they do. It really depends on the pencils I'm using and whether a page is detailed or not, and kind of the subject matter of the page, I guess, which may seem strange. But yeah, if I'm colouring a large area, then it tends to hurt a little bit more, and also for long periods of time. But if I'm using harder pencils, my hands also tend to hurt a little bit more often. So these ones aren't terribly hard actually, but the reason that my hands can start to hurt from these is just because I'm burnishing with them. So if I'm doing nice light layers and stuff like that, it doesn't hurt. So it does depend on my colouring technique. So here, when I'm burnishing the white, that starts to hurt my hands a little bit. And if it does, you know, consistently for a while, then sometimes I stop and do something else. Or sometimes if I've been colouring with pencil for a while and I can sense that it's just all a bit too much in terms of either the detail or my hands hurting, I will just use a marker. So me using this pen now is like a relief from using the pencil for a moment. And I do love my pencils, I always will, but it's a different experience using marker, and I do really like it. So I'd say, you know, for Prismacolors and stuff, generally my hands don't really hurt because they are a lot softer. But again, if I'm burnishing with them, then sometimes they do. It's all relative to the picture that I'm colouring. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. Pretty Pages 71 asked, do you mind showing them in your videos? Now, I wasn't quite sure what this comment meant. I take it as, like, do you mind showing your pages in your videos, or, you know, sharing your colouring? And if that's the question, then I don't mind at all sharing my pictures. If anything, it motivates me to do the pictures if I have people watching, because I know they've seen, you know, what I'm talking about. Keeps me accountable, definitely. But also, I just love doing videos. It's not even anything to do with the views, or, you know, the comments or anything. I really do appreciate you all watching and commenting, don't get me wrong, but it's just, it's also partly, you know, for myself. I love doing it, and as weird as it may be, I would probably still really enjoy filming videos, even if I then didn't go and upload them. So I did, for a period of time when I was practicing for my channel, I did do a few videos just for the fun of it. Never uploaded them. I've deleted them now to make space, I think. But yeah, I did some practice videos just for the fun of it, because I liked explaining my processes and just, yeah, sharing what I was up to. So no, I don't mind at all sharing things, because I mean, partly as well, I just really appreciate everyone else who does YouTube or shares their pictures on Instagram, Facebook, that sort of thing. I really appreciate people sharing their work because it inspires me so much. So it's kind of me giving back as well. because I feel like I wouldn't be where I am today without the inspiration from other people, and that's what I was saying, I think, in part one, about how I am inspired by other people a lot. And you know, I want to replicate people's pictures and that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't mind at all. I will get rid of that in a minute. I've just gone over the lines a tiny bit, but doesn't matter. So the next question is also from Pretty Pages 71, who asked, what's the pens or inks or glitter stuff you use for your pages? I am really sorry if I will end up repeating myself at any point. I can't remember exactly what all of the questions were in part one, but anyhow, I mean, if you didn't watch part one and you're joining now, hi, but of course you won't have heard what I said in part one, so I guess that doesn't actually matter. So I think I talked about some of my favourite supplies, but not this sort of thing, which I think is a great question actually, because lots of these are, you know, accents and things like that. So the pens, inks and glitter. So glitter, I have my glitter gel pens, which are the I think it's Tamnit, yeah, and I was given them by my Auntie Lynn and Uncle Jim, and I don't know where they got them. I have a feeling it might have been Amazon Canada, but I'm not sure. I haven't been able to find them anywhere. So they are great glitter gel pens. They flow really well, and they come with refills as well. So it's a set of 48, and then you get the refills. So I really like those. I also have pencil hybrid or metallic pens, which are glittery and two-toned as well, so they look different on black and white paper. They are amazing. I also really like the Uniball glitter gel pens. They come in metallics and also the glitter, and one of my favourite glitter gel pens is the silver one that they do. And stay tuned, because I do have a set of those that will be gifted in my giveaway when I hit 4,000, and we're almost there. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed already though, I'd really appreciate it, and then I can do all my giveaways. I love the jelly rolls. They are superb. Definitely recommend those. So yeah, they're kind of my glitter products. I have other metallic things like the Coliro paints. I actually have the Spectrum Noir glitter pens as well that I really like. Just a host of different things that I like experimenting with and creating different effects with. So that's what I use in terms of those sorts of accents. I'm going to go and pick some more colours for the house up here, and then I will get back to you and finish answering that question. Okay, so I picked out two colours, and I'm going to make it a bit peachy, a bit muted, and use the same method. So in terms of pens or inks that I use for my pages, I love my Arteza Inconic fine liners. I have done videos about how I use fine liners in my colouring books. That was before I got my Artezas, so just bear that in mind. But I use them as a base. I use them for accents, for texture, so much. I love them, and they come in a maximum of 120 colours. I'm very lucky that I have the full set. I managed to get them on an amazing deal on Arteza. They are meant to be very expensive, and I think I managed to get them for about £25. So yeah, just keep an eye out on Amazon and Arteza for Arteza products, because the prices do fluctuate and they can go really low sometimes, especially when it's like deal days and, you know, sales and stuff like that. Really like those. The first fine liners I got were the Staedtler, however you like to say it, but I love those, and they've since come out with some really unusual new colours. I think I even used the yellow colour. There are some gorgeous vintage colours, and I also have a few Stabilo ones. I have the pastel set, and they're great as well. I would say they're a little bit harder for me to use, just because of the shape of them, and also the nibs don't seem as easy to manipulate. But overall, I mean, they're all great, and they're really the only pens I use apart from markers in my colouring books. I use the Tombos occasionally, but yeah, they are pretty much all of the pens and things that I use. So I hope that answered your question. Thank you so much. The next question is from Sarah Megan 5 on Instagram. What is your favourite pictures to colour? Animals, flowers, scenery, shapes. I can't see that. Oh, mine is bees. I think she's put. I'm very sorry. Yeah, I think so. Thank you for your question, Sarah. So when I first started colouring, I only really coloured flowers and animals. It wasn't until I discovered, you know, other artists that I started branching out a bit. But generally, my favourite things to colour are flowers and animals. You're not wrong there at all. I don't have that much experience with portraits. For me, I do like colouring the occasional one, but I find if I did them too often, the process of just doing skin, hair, clothing, or whatever, yeah, I'm not sure that I could do it all the time, just because for me personally, it would be just a little bit repetitive, and that's just my opinion. Of course, you can have your own opinion. So I do like colouring the occasional portraits, but not all the time. I do like doing scenery. You know, if it's a big scene, especially things like Rita Berman and Clara Markova, where nothing repeats too often. I really like that. But yeah, generally animals and flowers. I do love these as well. I'm not so much a fan of shapes. I do the occasional mandala, but not that often. Again, it's purely just to do with the repetitiveness. I have done a few, but the thing that I would always jump to are the books with animals and flowers at their centre. I just love them. I'd say actually more now animals, because I find flowers I'm kind of comfortable with now. I either search up a reference or do my own thing. So with animals, I tend to want to colour them realistically, so it's nice because I don't have to think about a colour palette. I can just get going. I might have to go in with a little bit of extra shading here, just because the darker colour isn't quite defined enough for my liking, compared to how the purple one is. So almost there. It kind of reminds me of the earth red colour that's in the polychromos, but quite a bit darker, or the Venetian red, something like that. I'm just adding a little bit more in the shadow areas, and that's the great thing about using Zesta or the blender pens. You can just go straight on top of it, which I really appreciate, because you can't really do that with blender pencils. It's a little bit of faff. That kind of has to be your last step, your blender pencil, sorry, not blender pen. Whereas with these, you can just keep going. The blender pens definitely work better though with more layers, I found. That's all great. So that is that one. I'm going to do the same colour palette down here, and now I'm going to pick colours for this pink one, and then what I probably will do is take a break, come back and finish up some other things for you once I've coloured these two. So it may be a different day, it may be this afternoon as well, we'll see, but I will be back shortly to colour this last flower with you. Okay, so I've now picked out a couple of colours for the final flower, and this one's going to be more of a brighter pink. This is more of a muted kind of earthy red. I'm just going to hold that up so you can see. But yeah, this, I only did one of these ones just because of how the others were positioned. It just made sense on the page for me to do that. So the next question is from, and I hope I've got this right, L Craft. Do you like journaling? I'm 3 months into it and love it. All that washi tape and stickers. And yes, I do. I do show it sometimes in hauls, not too often. Depends what I've bought, because obviously this is a colouring channel and I do stick mainly to just sharing that. But I did do journaling and things in a vlog I did in October time, I believe. So if you are interested in that sort of stuff, check that video out. I also, as I said, do share washi tape in my hauls, and I just love journaling. The stickers that I create are designed for journaling and card making and present wrapping and that sort of stuff. So I was kind of inspired by what I love doing to create them, really, because I do love stickers. Washi tape, just amazing. And I first found Cambridge Imprint and I was like, oh gosh, I love this paper, what can I do with it? And I wanted to put it to good use with, you know, a product that I really enjoy, which is stickers, and try it out. And yeah, I love them. So you can see when I'm using the blender pen, you can colour a lot more roughly with it. I find it's kind of like using watercolour pencils or like Inktense or something like that. You only have to put the rough layer down and it all just merges together beautifully. I'm just going to put a few more drops of my Zest It blend there. And blend it. So I have a feeling that I will need to shadow this again because the pink that I've used is fairly similar, and I do want to get that definition, and I haven't quite got it yet. And that's the thing there, you just can go back in and touch up, change what needs changing very easily. I also find when you use this, the marker that you put as a base becomes a little bit brighter until it's dry. I'm liking that, yeah. With this, I'm not too worried about having a cohesive colour palette because it's a, you know, mystical page, meant to. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of go with what I feel like doing. I mean, I've got a limited colour palette anyway, what with it being a 36 set of pencils, so I'll see how I do. I just want to make sure I have some shadow around the arch of the door as well. Okay, so I have a couple more questions to answer, which is very exciting. So the first couple are from Mrs. M Colour Lady, who very kindly also put some questions up for my last video as well. Her first question is least favourite colouring books / supplies you own. Books you are looking forward to being released or a pre-order. Oh gosh, there are so many. So many to list. I think as colourists, we're always on the lookout for new things by artists, you know, new supplies, that sort of thing. If I answer the first part of the question first, so least favourite books, supplies, which I think is really interesting because a lot of us only talk about our favourites and least favourites. I mean, I try to only get things that I think I'll like and that I will enjoy using. And for the majority, definitely, I love all of my supplies. I would say there are some pencils that I don't really care for that I've tried out in the past. I'm trying to pinpoint one now because I think I have got rid of some. It's not so much more the pencils I've got now because I really do like the products that I have, and I've kind of given away ones that I don't feel I'll use. So I did have some Tink felt tips that just weren't very good. I tell you one thing I do actually regret buying, which you may have seen in a haul, were some calligraphy pens that I got from John Lewis. They were on sale with all the Derwent stuff, and they just didn't work how I thought they were going to, and lots of them were dry. I was really, really disappointed with those actually. They didn't work how I thought they were going to, and the nibs were really flimsy, so you couldn't do calligraphy properly with them. So I do regret buying those. I really do like the Crayola colour pencils. The only thing I don't like about them is how hard they are and how much they do hurt my hands. So I'd say from that respect they're my least favourite, but I do really like them. Yeah, there have been soft pastels that I've got in the past that just haven't been very pigmented, and I just don't really think they're the best quality, which is why I invested in some more expensive ones, Rembrandt ones. And although a lot of people really like them, and I do like them as well, some pencils that I don't use enough, purely because I guess they're not my favourites, are the Arteza pencils. I got them last year and I have used them a fair bit, but they are quite similar to my Prismacolors, and to be honest, if they're similar to my Prismacolors, I would rather use my Prismas. Having said that, I do think that for a budget pencil as they're classed at, they are absolutely amazing. They work really well and you can't argue with the results. I mean, they are great. I personally just don't use them really enough because they're not my top set. So yeah, I hope that's good in terms of supplies. It gives me some ideas of things that are my least favourites. Books, some that I just don't see myself getting. Sorry, I'm just rubbing the pen clean. Yeah, I'll, like colour by numbers and stuff like that. I've seen so many gorgeous works with them, but I don't think I would find it relaxing like I know many other people do. So although they look really pretty when they're done, I'm not sure how I'd get on with them. you know, you colour shapes and stuff. And yeah, I don't know how I would find those, so I don't have any of them at the moment, and I probably won't. Also, I have a couple of books on Create Space paper, and I've got them purely because I really do like the illustrations. I do prefer better quality books, that's just my opinion. And I would probably consider getting, oh, I think I picked up the wrong pencil there. Have I? Literally lost. Ah, it's this one. I would probably consider buying art from the artist's Etsy store if it was available, rather than buying the book with paper that's not as good quality. Because I mean, the paper that I print on isn't probably the right sort of paper or the best quality, but it does the trick for me, and I really enjoy colouring it. So, you know, I think there's pros and cons to everything, and everybody likes what they like. So, yeah, it's just my opinion. And, you know, if you watch my videos regularly, you can probably tell anyway the sorts of things that I do like, because, you know, they're the things that I colour in. So, yeah, I hope that's kind of answered your question. So I'm so indecisive with that sort of stuff. In terms of books that I'm looking forward to being released, there's a few. My top one that I'm looking forward to this year is the Rita Berman book, along with her postcards that she's also coming out with. Very, very excited for that. I think that's going to be amazing. Especially since it's, you know, Europe and things like that, and I do really, you know, love the fact that it's probably going to have London in there, and, you know, I think that'll be really fun. So, oh, sorry, I keep jolting the camera. So yeah, I think that's definitely one. Hannah Carlson's new book, Maria Troll's new book, Joanna Basford's coming out with something as well. There are a couple new mythographic books that I'm looking forward to getting. There's a Wanderlust one by a new artist, and a Wild Winter one by Joseph Kattenbang that's coming out early next year, which I'm extremely excited for. Yeah, I think they're all the ones at the moment. I've probably missed some, but they're the ones I'm very much anticipating and really looking forward to. But yeah, I'm sure there are others. I'm going to colour some of the green. I pretty much know what I want to do anyway, because there are only a couple of greens. In terms of, well, actually, no, that's not true. There are lots of greens. They're just all kind of the same tone, so I know what I want to do. So, I don't usually pre-order books, because they don't always come when they say they will, and now that I do have Amazon Prime, I'd rather just wait until it releases and then get it. But I'm definitely going to need to scale back on my spending, because I did go crazy in London. I mean, we've never done a big kind of overnight trip there, so I have been saving to go there. So yeah, it was worth the wait, but I'm definitely going to scale back. But yeah, they're the books that I'm really looking forward to being released soon. If there are any that you know of that I've missed, please let me know. I'd love to know, but yeah, I'm sure there are ones that I have missed. And lovely Effie from Effie Colours has asked, what's the next book you're planning on finishing? And I think this is a really good way to round off the Q&A questions, because I think the first couple of questions were about the first book that I got and stuff like that. There's actually a few. I can't really name just a single one because I'm kind of working through a few continuously. Definitely my second copy of Ivy will be one that I finish eventually. I would also really like to finish my I Believe in Fairies colouring postcards by Clara Markova. I've now done 8, so I'm a quarter of the way through, and that's not bad for me in, what, 9 months? Like 1 a month, that would be great. So it'll still take me another 2 years probably, but I like working in a mix of different things, so I don't just stick to one. There are other books that I've done quite a few pages in that I'm kind of just steadily working on. Got Fairy Celebrations. I love the mythographic books, but I can't see myself being able to finish one of them. But yeah, there are just, you know, things here and there that I'm constantly working on, and you know, every time I complete a page in a book, that's one step closer to it being finished, you know. So I'd say at this moment probably I Believe in Fairies, just because that's the one I've done the most in, because I'm a quarter of the way through. So maybe when I'm a bit further along with that, I'll do a video. But yeah, basically the answer is quite a few. But yeah, I'm looking forward to, you know, hopefully doing a few more pages in certain books. I haven't done anything in Ivy this month just because I've been preoccupied with finishing other wonderful buddy colours. I'm not sure if I'll get any done on holiday because it's one of those books that, pages, sorry, the one that I'm working on, that I do need a reference for, so I might just leave the page that should be next and see. But what I'm going to do now, I think, is I am pretty much done with sharing the main things I wanted to share with you. So the different colours I was using for each flower and the green here. So what I'm going to do now is finish up these 2 flowers and all the leaves, and then I will be back to finish off some of the finishing touches and things like that for the second main part of this video. And as I said, it could be another day, it could be later today, we will see. But when I see you in a bit, I will probably just do an ordinary colour chat and tell you about some of the things I've been up to. So yeah, I will see you shortly. Hi everyone, so it's actually a couple of days later, and since the last part of the video I have continued with the page and finished up some of the bits that I was sharing with you. So I've finished the green, the other flowers, I've just put a little bit of green shading on the path and things like that, so I haven't actually got that much left. Just to let you know, if you can hear noise in the background, that's just my family chatting, and my grandparents are with us at the moment. So I probably won't finish the picture in the video, but you'll see the finished page in my completed pages video, probably. So with you now, I'm going to colour the blue. I'm doing her dress the same as the pink flower up here. So I'm going to start with the blue. I'll just show you my swatches again. I'm going to pick a few colours and we will get started. Okay, so I've got my blues that I'm going to use. I thought for this last part, seeing as it's going to be a little bit shorter, I would just really chat with you, talk about things that I've been up to, although you have heard most of it if you've seen my recent colour and chat. So if you haven't seen that, I was colouring in the mythographic Imagine colouring book. Then if you're interested about what I've been up to recently, you can go and check that out. But I have just put up a vlog of me and my mum going to London, which was so fun. We got back a couple of days ago and we had a really lovely time. It was so much fun. And basically I thought it would be fun to just kind of talk you through what we did, because I know I showed what we did, but yeah, like give a few like background details and stuff. So we went on Friday until the Monday, and that was great. And I was anticipating being a lot more tired than I was, because I had had my prom the night before. So actually I wasn't too tired, which was brilliant. So we went on the train to get there, and it's really fun actually, because I've never stayed in London for a longer period of time really. Only I think for one night, so it was really lovely staying for 3, and we stayed in a travel lodge almost in the centre of Covent Garden, so we were right in the middle of everything, which was amazing. And you know, really with hotels, especially in a busy place like London, you're only really going to them to stay the night. We really didn't spend much time in our hotel room. It was really only on the Saturday evening for about an hour, and then we did spend a few hours in the morning on the Sunday, because none of the shops opened that early. They all open at 12, and so we decided to set off a little bit later and pick up some breakfast a little bit later as well, which was nice. So it was just a really lovely experience. It was nice going with my mum as well, and thank you so much for your lovely comments on that video. I know she really appreciated them, because she was featured in the vlog for the first time. I think when I do my Devon vlog, all of us will be in it. So my mum, dad, Tom and me. My grandparents aren't staying with us when we are in Devon, but I don't think they would want to be in front of a camera anyway. But they have done videos with me before. But yeah, London was just so fun, and it's lovely because it's such a different experience than where we live, because we are close to busy areas, but where we actually live is very rural. So you know, we go into London quite a lot, but as I said, not for longer periods of time. So it was so lovely going in and experiencing a lot more places, because ordinarily we wouldn't be able to. Like most of the times when I've been to London, it's just to see like a musical, and we go usually for the matinee, so we only go for a day trip. So you know, seeing some areas with like the lights on when it was night, and being able to just wake up and be there already without having to travel on the train was just amazing. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. So yeah, it was a really good experience. And a couple of things also that we did, which I showed in the vlog, was we went to Cambridge on the Saturday. So we weren't actually in London apart from the evening, and we went to a lovely restaurant called La Gocchia, I think that's how you pronounce it, could be wrong, which was kind of an Italian tapas type of restaurant. They did refer to it as being tapas, but obviously tapas is traditionally Spanish, I believe, but because we had tapas a lot when we were in Spain a few years ago. But yeah, it was delicious, and because I mean we don't really eat too much anyway, so we didn't get that much between the two of us, but it was all delicious. I had a wild mushroom tagliatelle, and my mum had a gorgeous like pesto risotto. So we kind of shared them, and then we also had a tomato like bruschetta salad type thing, which was gorgeous. And then we had affogatos for dessert. So I believe I did share clips of them, but yeah, they were really lovely. So yeah, we did that. So it was nice to come back to in the evening after we'd had the full day out in Cambridge, because we were meant to go and see Cinderella the musical on the Saturday evening, and unfortunately it was cancelled because I believe one of their cast members has come down with COVID, so it's such a shame that we couldn't go. But I don't really know how we would have fitted it in actually. We certainly wouldn't have been able to go to the restaurant on the Saturday if we were going there. We probably would have just picked up something quick from Pret. We did go to Pret a lot. I think I only shared Pret in one clip, but I think we went about 4 times because Pret's just amazing. If you haven't been to Pret and you have one, oh my goodness, they're amazing. Definitely go and check them out. It's a really lovely takeaway or eat-in, like, healthy option, and there are some staple options that I will always go for. I will always go for their lovely chicken salad they have, or their club sandwich. They have a duck wrap, which was something I only recently discovered because only recently I realised that I actually do like duck, but only that way. I'm not, you know, a fan of roast duck or anything like that. But yeah, it was delicious. And then we also did have, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, the pesto and chicken wrap, which had been discontinued for a while, but it was back in, which was great. So that was kind of our main eating out place, which was good because when we did go to the restaurants, obviously it's quite expensive, so it was nice to go somewhere that, you know, isn't as expensive. And we picked up breakfast there, I think only once, and it was on the way to Cambridge. And the train to Cambridge was only about an hour, so that was good. In fact, I think it was even less. So that was really handy. And good to have, you know, a mini holiday within the long weekend. That was amazing. So the main reason we went there, not only just to see Cambridge, but also because I am considering applying to Cambridge University. My top choice is still Oxford. That would be amazing because the music there is fantastic, and that's the course I'm leaning towards, possibly. I know I'm still 2 years away from thinking about uni, but you do have to start applying and things really soon, so in your first year of college. So it's crazy that, you know, you've just started college and you're having to think about university, so it will definitely be strange. These next few years are going to be busy. But yeah, so we went there to see just generally the place as well, to see how it competed with Oxford. And obviously I feel like some people feel there is competition between both of them because it's an Oxbridge exam that you go for, so Oxford and Cambridge combined, but they're pretty much, in terms of league, they're the same, as long as as well as all of, like, the Russell Group universities that we have. So my parents went to Durham, so I'm considering Durham as well. So it was just good to get a feel for the place and you know, see what it was like. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think what I'm going to do is colour her dress and possibly her hair, and I think that will be all that I have time for. And as I said, I will then share the completed page in my completed pages video. So let me just get the colours for the flower. I hope I've got the right ones here. Yes. So I just used 2 colours. I did share the colours before because I coloured the flower on camera for you, but share it again. So what I quite like to do with smaller areas like this is, as I always do, just pick out the shadows, and especially with, you know, not having to worry so much about where, you know, like how neat shading is and stuff, because I'm using the blender pen. It's quite fun to just roughly put things in. So I do usually have to go back in though to shade on top, but I just want to make sure I've got no blue. But I'm really enjoying this page, and obviously without this colour along that's going on, I wouldn't have done it. So yeah, thank you so much for opening up the opportunity. I think, if I'm not mistaken, what Shelly and Ashleigh were trying to do was to get each person who was streaming to colour a different page so that there's lots of variety. So I think I might be the only one colouring this page. I believe lots of people are colouring portraits. And there's a mini one here that I'm doing right now. Obviously you can't see the whole of her face, but yeah, I just went for this one because I really loved it. You know, it's a mixture of whimsical scenery and then also the flowers, which I love. So yeah, I'm really glad I went for this one. Whilst I had the few days in between me doing these clips, I did also just put a bit of shadow by the underneath the flowers. So it was just a bit of green, and I'd already put pastel down there, so I thought, you know, I'm using the same green that I did for the leaves, so it wasn't major that I needed to show you that. Hope you don't mind. But yeah, I just want to try and show you as many different things that I've coloured on this page. So see, I haven't managed to get around to everything because I imagine the embellishments will take me quite a while, and I don't have the storage space on my phone to be able to show all of it. But I was really eager to get at least videos that were an hour long for you, just so that it filled up at least half of the slot. And I think my first video is around an hour and 10 minutes, so you know, it's a little bit over, so you have a nice break between the videos for you, because I know what some streamers also like to do is, even if they have a 2-hour slot, they finish just before so that you have a bit of time to, you know, grab yourself another drink before they start. So here I'm just going in with white to highlight it, which is a nice trick if you've already got marker down, because the marker colour underneath does still come through. And then sometimes I like to go back in with the darkest colour. I mean, this is really rough, and that's what I like with hair and stuff. You can just put little lines in. Great. So let's think, what am I going to do? So I might actually just get one of the peach colours. There aren't too many. I might use the same brown actually for a bit of tan to add shading, because I want it to look different from the background. I mean, it is a kind of peachy colour I've put down, but I still want her to stand out. I tried to make most of it cohesive. Some of it isn't, which I don't mind, because as I said earlier, I think it's a whimsical page. It doesn't have to be realistic. But for instance, you know, her hair, I decided to make, you know, the golden brown colour because I've already got brown in other places on the page. So it kind of made sense to me to utilise a colour that I'd already put down, because I've also got brown in various other places. So yeah, that's what I've done. So yeah, I think I'm happy with her skin. Obviously she's so small, there's no point really layering too much. Just need to smooth it out though. I have to say, skin is one of the only things where I'm really hot on it being smooth, because obviously whenever you're colouring a person and you're trying to make it look realistic, you know, of course you want it to come across as if they've got smooth skin, because otherwise if there's loads of white space it doesn't look as realistic. So that's one of the only things where I'm always like, yes, I must use a blender pencil or some sort of medium to get it smooth. Don't know about you, but I can't remember what colour this is. Oh yeah, I do. Don't worry. But yeah, that's one thing that I have to have smooth. Flowers and stuff, I like the finish that it gives if they're smooth, but it's not a major thing for me. So one of those things where I'm like, oh well, flowers do have texture sometimes anyway, so you know, really it doesn't matter so much. So actually, because I've been colouring this so quickly, I've managed to get her all done. I'll probably add some bronze metallic gel pen accents on her shoes, just to give the impression that they're shiny. This is a thing that I do as well. I go in with a lighter colour that kind of matches the marker, just to make it blend a little bit but still give a highlight, which I like doing. I like giving highlights. I was thinking at some point I could do an updated video about how I use fine liners. Let me know if that's something that you'd enjoy, because I've had a lot of questions about how I use fine liners recently, and I have done a video before, but it was a while ago, and actually I use fine liners in numerous ways now, apart from the ones I shared in my video. So yeah, I thought it might be quite good to maybe do an updated version for you. So the brown that I did just here on her shoes is going to be exactly the same as the ladder up here and also the steps. So yeah, it's all the same. But basically, that's most of the page done. As I said, I've only really got accents to do now. I'll probably just colour these flowers in with fine liner. So not too much more, but accents always take me a long time. So yeah, it wouldn't fit in the video, unfortunately. But it'll be a nice surprise to see it in my completed pages video instead. I hope that's all right. And obviously, when this video goes live, it will be the 1st of August. So you can expect my completed pages will come out a couple days after, because I want my videos a little bit spread out. So I'm not going to put my completed pages video up before the COLOURAthon is finished, because I want to give the COLOURAthon its own, you know, time. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I think that I'm going to do in this video. So all I've got left, the windows, accents, that sort of thing. But I really hope you've enjoyed watching. Again, thank you so much to Shelly and Ashleigh for putting this colour along together. I hope you enjoyed participating in Julia in July 2021. And I hope you enjoyed watching the streams. Well, obviously mine are videos that have been premiered, but I really hope you enjoy the rest of the streams that are going on. And if you have joined in the live chat, thank you so much. I will try my best, and I hope that I have managed to join as well. And as I said at the beginning of the video, you still have time to enter the giveaway, so just leave a comment down below in the description saying you would like to enter the giveaway for the picture, and I will close the giveaway in a couple of days and then let the winner know through the comment section that they have won. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Take care everyone, bye!